Hello everybody. Multi-level inheritance. So what do you mean by multi-level inheritance here? Whenever a class is derived by another class is called as inheritance. For example, in this example also we are seeing an inheritance here. Now we have different types of inheritance like single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical and hybrid. Today we'll discuss about multi-level inheritance in detail. So here we have some examples of inheritances with diagrams. AB is a single inheritance, ABC multi-level. When C is inheriting at a time more than one class, it is multiple inheritance. Then hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Now, what do you mean by multi-level inheritance? So there will be a base class, and the child class will derive from the base class, and always once again the child will become a parent, and another child will derive it. So grandparent, parent, and child. So more than two classes are involved in this multi-level inheritance. Okay, so there will be class A, B, C here. So A will be the base class, B will be the derived class, and C will be sub-derived class. So where we are achieving multi-level inheritance here, right? Now, so the class B is derived from A class, and the class C is derived from B class. So more than one level, that's why it is called as multi-level inheritance. So the process of deriving a class from another derived class is called as multi-level inheritance. So when a class inherits another class, it is known as single inheritance normally. But when a process of deriving a class from another derived class is multi-level inheritance. So when a one class inherits another class, it is further inherited by another class. In other words, okay, so in this example, if you observe here, in this example, so there will be a class base class, class derived class 1 in a, okay, and one more class derived class 2 which is derived by derived class 1. So base class, that is grandparent, parent and child. So here the syntax is very clear. The derived class is inheriting base class, and the derived class 2 is inheriting derived class 1. Are we clear? Right. Next. Now, in this example also, once again, with another diagram we are explaining clearly, there will be ABC classes, base class, derived class 1 and derived class 2. We can illustrate with ABC here. A will be the grandparent, B will be the intermediate class, and C will be the derived class. Right? So, what is happening here? The syntax, if you look at here, there will be class A. The class A is inherited by class B colon public A, and class C colon public B means what? The C is inheriting B class. So A is inherited by B and B is inherited by C. So grandfather, father and child, base class, intermediate class and derived class. So it's a simple syntax to illustrate multi-level inheritance. Right? Next. So once again, the syntax is clearly explained. Class A, class B, class C. Right? So before going further, let us execute some piece of code here. Okay. So with the code example, we'll see here one by one. So let us see a simple example here. So there will be a animal class, which is base class. Right? So in this animal class, there is one method called as eat method. So in the super class, we have eat method, which is a grandparent class. Now the dog class is inheriting animal class. The dog class is inheriting animal class. So the dog class will have two methods, eat method and bark method. Right? Now whereas baby dog class is inheriting dog class, where this class will have the features of dog as well as animal. Right? So it's a simple example for multi-level inheritance. Let's execute this program and see the output here. Right? So if you see the output is very clear. So we have created a subderived grandchild class, baby dog d1 object. So d1 dot eat method is a grandparent class. Bark method is a parent class method, and weep method is a its own method. So it's a simple multi-level inheritance example. Let us see one more example, right? So there will be a class A, which is a parent class, grandparent class. Then class B, which is inheriting A class. So A class is having void get A data. Class B class is having get B data. Then whereas class C is having get C data methods. So what will happen here? There will be one more sum method also in the grandchild class. So here we are creating a child class object, and we are able to access grandparent method, parent method, and its own two methods. That means what? The grandchild is inheriting from parent, and where parent is inherited from grandparent. So it's a one more example here. Now let's see the output here. Let's execute. Okay, so enter the value of A, assume that it is 11, and enter the value of B, this is 22. Enter the value of 3, this is C is 33. Now the sum is 66. So the grandchild is collecting data from grandparent class, parent class, as well as its own class, and calculating the sum. So the calculating sum method and displaying value will be in the grandchild class. Okay, so get details from A is grandparent, get details from B is parent, get details from C is its own class, as well as calculating sum and printing. Are we clear? So this is one more example. Let's see one more easy example, then we will type our own code to illustrate more clear, right? So there will be simple example here, of course the same code here once again. Okay, so and we are calculating the sum. Now let us type the one simple example from our end, because always it is advised to type your own code than the available code. Now let us type a simple example. We'll type here. So class student. Okay, so we are typing a class student class. Okay, now I'm taking one more class, class exam colon public student. That means what? Exam class is inheriting student class. Now one more class we will take, which is class result colon exam. Now here we have three classes here: class student, class exam, and class result. Student is inherited by exam class, and exam class is inherited by result class. Of course, with the methods we have already seen some example. Now let us type one constructor and see the order of execution of constructors in the multi-level inheritance. So let us type a student constructor here, because the constructor is called when the object is created. So what will happen? Please see here. So it is cout student constructor, student constructor. Okay, so this is a base class. Now then what we do is we will type exam constructor. So we know already the always the constructor must be in public branch. So please make sure it should be in public. So exam constructor. Okay, and it must be in public block. Right. Now similarly in the result class, we are taking public colon result and cout result class. Right. So we already know when the constructor is called, when the object is created. So let's see the output, the order of execution, what will happen when each class is created. Now assume that the first class I'll create student S1. What will happen? Okay. So hash include stdio. Okay. So let's see the output here. Now student constructor is called. Because we have created a grandparent class object, only its own constructor is called. Is that clear? Now next. Now I'll, instead of student S1, what I will do is I'll comment this. I will create exam E1, exam E1 object. So what will happen here? It's a so already exam class is doing what? Exam class is inheriting student class. So what will happen? Please see the output here. So the output will be first student constructor will be executed, then exam constructor will be executed. That means what? The base class constructor is executed first, then derived class constructor is executed. That means what? Exam is inherited by, sorry, student is inherited by exam, right? Now one more. Now let's comment this also. Then type, yeah, result, result R1. Now let's see what will be the output now. Wow. So this is a best example for multi-level inheritance. So what will happen? Student is a grandparent class, exam is inheriting student, and the result is inheriting exam. So when you create a result class object, automatically it will derive both the features. How both the features? Exam is already inherited student class, so result is inherited from result is inheriting exam features, right? So it's a multi-level inheritance example, right? So here we have just given a constructors only. You can add some more methods also if you are interested. So void student, okay, so get student or some information you can wish, right? Void student wish, or else any wish you can say, wish method, okay. Or else we can write study, student will study, right? Out, student is studying for exam, and student is studying successfully. Just to check it, that's it. There is one method called as study. Then in the exam you have to write the exam, right? So void write exam. There is one more method, right? Here we'll write cout. Who will write the exam? Student. So that's why exam should derive student, right? So student will write exam, right? Now result, right? So result void result method. So get result, okay, get result. Okay, so cout student exam result. Just to test it, there is one more method. That's it. Now let's call r1 dot study. There is one method r1 dot study. So this is from grandparent class. R1 dot one more exam. Write exam, right? Write exam, right? Next r1 dot result. So result. So result is a constructor actually. So get result. So get result method will be executed. So let's see the output here. Now, if you observe here, first grandparent constructor, parent constructor, and child constructor. Now, the R1 is calling study method from grandparent class. R1 method is R1 object is calling parent class method, then its own method. Okay, so it's a simple example for multi-level inheritance. Is that clear, everybody? So, what do you mean by multi-level inheritance? Deriving the features from, okay, so deriving for more than one levels, grandparent, parent, and its own child. Okay, so this is a simple example to illustrate multi-level inheritance. Thank you so much. See you in the next session with another session. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please get back to us. Thank you.